Holidays are the busiest time for us pet sitters and dog walkers, and as we roll into this busy July 4th weekend, I thought it would be a good time to share some of the things that I have learned through my 8 years of pet sitting and dog walking about dealing with holidays in a way that you can keep your mental sanity. For those of you that don't know, I'm Doug the Dog Guy. I'm the owner and founder of Bad to the Bone Pet Care. I've been a full-time professional pet sitter and dog walker for over 8 years, and I've built an award-winning team of pet professionals servicing Northeast and Central Florida. Before I get into my tips and tricks on conquering the holidays, I will ask you to please just share your tips down in the comments below, like and share this video with other pet professionals, and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with my weekly content on building a successful pet care business. I have learned all of this stuff the hard way. My first couple of years pet sitting, I didn't understand the importance of setting boundaries, pricing your services correctly, or really any of it. I was just loving the fact that I was around animals and able to make money doing it. So nothing else really mattered to me. And that being said, when holidays came around, I would work full 24-hour days. I know that sounds crazy, but I would literally have so many visits that I would have to start my morning rounds at 3:30 a.m. I would finish with my morning rounds around 10 a.m. and then immediately start my midday rounds, finish those around 3 or 4 p.m. and then it would be time to start the evening rounds, and I wouldn't finish those until midnight, and then I would literally sleep in my car from midnight until 3:30 when it was time to do the first morning visit, because I wouldn't even have time to go home for those couple of hours. It was absolutely insane, but I did that for every single holiday my first 2 years of pet sitting. And when I was first starting my business and I was 19 years old, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. You know, I did not understand the toll that it was taking on me physically and mentally and emotionally, let alone the toll that it was actually taking on the quality of the service that I was providing and the other people around me. So obviously what ended up happening after working every holiday like that for over 2 years was that I started to get burnt out. I actually was resenting clients that were submitting requests and just resenting what I was doing in general. And that is an awful place to be. There are so many different things that you can do to prevent yourself from getting burnt out. And that's why I mention this in almost every one of my YouTube videos, is to set boundaries, have concrete policies, and price your services accordingly so that you never get burnt out and start resenting your clients and what you are doing. We are so lucky to get to do what we do as pet care providers, and we need to do everything that we can to protect that and to make sure that we can continue doing this for the long run and provide the best services possible. And when I started having these realizations after 2 years of working this way, the first thing that I did, and what I would suggest that most of you do, is to raise your prices. Not just on holidays, but I started raising my prices on all services across the board. And what immediately started happening is it started weeding out some of those discount chasers and just overall raised the bar for the type of clientele that we were servicing. That was an immediate, amazing thing to happen. And it kind of limited how many requests were coming in for the holidays themselves. And it made me and my team feel like we were getting paid more, not what we were worth, but closer to what we were worth. And then the next thing that I did after raising the prices was I limited my radius. Those first couple years, I was driving all over town, going anywhere and everywhere that I had to go to accommodate clients. My first year pet sitting, I drove over 100,000 miles, which is ridiculous. That going into my third year pet sitting, I decided I was not going to leave a 10 to 15 minute driving radius of my own home, and any request that was outside of that radius, I would either hire someone to take it on for me, or if I didn't want to hire someone in that area or couldn't hire someone in that area at that time, I would just refer the request out to another business. And that was really something that I struggled with doing. You know, I didn't want to send these requests to someone else, even if it was someone on my own team, let alone to another business. I kind of felt like I was shooting myself in the own foot. But truly, I was helping myself so much. And now that I've been doing that for years, I love it and I recommend that everyone do it. Set a tight radius for your services and either hire for outside of that radius or refer out to other businesses. It will save you so much time, so much effort. That combined with raising your prices, wow, hugely amazing. And then the next thing that I did was then I started implementing holiday rates. Now, you would think, and I would probably suggest to most of you, that you start with holiday rates instead of going the route that I did. But in my mind, I was thinking, my time on one day of the week is not worth more than it is on any other day of the week. That was just how my mind was set at the time. And when I started implementing holiday rates, what I realized was that only the best clients that we really were wanting to work with were willing to pay that holiday rate, which just solved so many problems on so many different fronts. Plus, we were making more money, so even though we were getting less requests, revenue-wise, it all evened out at the end of the day. And that's when I kind of started to have the shift mentally. When I started to see these numbers and see how it all played out, I started to realize that, you know what? My time is worth more on a holiday than it is on a normal weekday. And that was a whole mental shift that I had to go through. But now, with higher prices across the board, plus holiday rates, plus a tighter service area, it just weeded out so many of the problems that it's just such a great thing. And like I said, I'm not a business coach, I'm not an expert. I'm just telling you what worked for me and what I would suggest that most pet care providers do. And then aside from these structural changes, another thing that I've had to learn the hard way over my 8 years of pet sitting and dog walking is just the fact that you have to keep your own mental, emotional, and physical health and well-being at the forefront of all of your decisions. When I first started pet sitting and I was getting 3 hours of sleep in my car and just living off of nothing but fast food because I didn't have time to eat healthy and all that shit, that's ridiculous, you know what? And that's gonna cause you to crash and burn. It's gonna make you feel like crap. And it's going to just have such a toll on the quality of the service that you are providing. Don't put yourself in that position. Don't put your clients in that position. You need to be getting an appropriate amount of sleep every night, whatever that is for you. You need to take time every week. If you know you're having a busy week up, then meal prep so that you don't have to rely on nasty fast food every day. Cut the sodas and the crap drinks out of your diet and drink water. You know, these little shifts are going to make your life so much better, not just as a pet care provider and business owner, but just in general, because these habits are going to overflow into your life. Take time to meditate, you know, do all of these different things. And you have to get to a point with yourself and with your business where you realize that if you don't reply to that email right now, the world's not going to end. If you cannot accommodate every single request that's coming in, or if you can't answer every single phone call as soon as the phone is ringing, the world's not going to end. It's all going to be okay. Just focus on what's on your plate right now, prioritize, focus on your own mental health and well-being, and the rest will work itself out. I truly hope this information helps you to not only get through the holidays with your mental sanity, but to make better business decisions every day. I've learned all this stuff the hard way, and my hope is that by sharing my stories and my knowledge with you guys, that you won't have to learn the hard lessons that I did. Please share this video with other petpreneurs and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with my weekly content. I'm Doug the Dog Guy with Bad to the Bone Pet Care, reminding you to stay positive.